Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. A man whose name is synonymous with power and influence on the global stage. A man who cultivates an image of austere simplicity, often seen in modest settings, projecting an air of humility and dedication to his country. His official salary, a modest $140,000 a year? This figure, while substantial, is relatively modest compared to the earnings of leaders in other major nations. But behind this facade of frugality lies a truth whispered in hushed tones. A truth that suggests a stark contrast between his public persona and his private reality. Putin, some say, is not just a powerful leader. He is a man whose influence extends far beyond the political realm into the very fabric of global finance and wealth. He is rumored to be the wealthiest man on earth. These rumors are fueled by sightings of luxury yachts, private jets, and opulent mansions that are allegedly linked to him. His true net worth? A closely guarded secret. A secret that is protected by layers of financial obfuscation and a network of loyal associates. Some estimates place it at over $200 billion. This figure, if accurate, would make him the richest individual in history, surpassing even the most affluent tech moguls and industrialists. This staggering sum, if true, would dwarf the fortunes of known billionaires. It would place him in a league of his own, far beyond the reach of any other individual. How could a man on a public servant's salary amass such wealth? This question has puzzled many and led to numerous investigations and speculations. The answer is shrouded in a complex web of hidden assets, shadowy connections, and a system designed to obscure the truth. A system that involves offshore accounts, shell companies, and a network of trusted allies. The Kremlin, of course, denies these allegations. They maintain that Putin's wealth is a fabrication, a myth created by his enemies. They dismiss them as Western propaganda, a tactic used to undermine his authority and discredit his leadership. But the evidence tells a different story. Investigative journalists have uncovered documents and testimonies that suggest a vast network of wealth and influence. A story of unimaginable wealth accumulated through dubious means that include leveraging state resources, manipulating markets, and exploiting political connections. A story that stretches from the gilded palaces of Russia to the offshore tax havens of the world. A story that spans continents and involves a myriad of financial instruments and entities. This is the story of Vladimir Putin's hidden fortune, a fortune that, if true, redefines the boundaries of wealth and power in the modern world. One of the most glaring examples of Putin's alleged hidden wealth is the infamous Putin's Palace. This grand estate has been the subject of numerous investigations and reports, each revealing more about its opulence and the mystery surrounding its ownership. This sprawling estate sits on the Black Sea coast, offering breathtaking views and unparalleled luxury. The location itself is a testament to the exclusivity and grandeur that the property exudes. It boasts everything from vineyards to a private casino, making it a playground for the elite. The estate is designed to cater to every possible whim and desire, with amenities that rival those of the world's most luxurious resorts. The cost? An estimated $1 billion. This staggering figure only adds to the intrigue and speculation about who could afford such a lavish property and why it remains shrouded in secrecy. The official owner? A mystery. Despite numerous investigations, the true ownership of the palace remains hidden behind layers of shell companies and intermediaries, making it nearly impossible to trace. The Kremlin denies any connection to Putin. Official statements have repeatedly dismissed claims linking the Russian president to the palace, calling them baseless and politically motivated. But whistleblowers and leaked documents paint a different picture. These sources suggest that the palace is indeed connected to Putin, revealing a network of financial transactions and intermediaries that point back to him.
The palace is more than just a luxurious residence. It represents the immense wealth and power concentrated in the hands of a few, and the lengths to which they will go to conceal it. It's a symbol of the opulence that surrounds Putin. The lavish interiors, adorned with golden decor and chandeliers, stand in stark contrast to the modest image he often portrays in public. It's a stark contrast to the image of the frugal leader he portrays. While Putin often presents himself as a man of the people, living a simple and modest life, the reality behind the scenes tells a different story. Critics argue that this lavish estate, and others like it, are evidence of blatant corruption. They point to the disparity between Putin's public persona and the hidden wealth that these properties represent. They say it shows a leader who uses his position to enrich himself at the expense of his people. The opulence of the palace is a stark reminder of the growing inequality and the challenges faced by ordinary Russians, who struggle to make ends meet while their leaders live in unimaginable luxury.
Putin's alleged extravagance extends beyond real estate. His wealth is not just confined to sprawling estates and opulent mansions, it extends into the high seas, where luxury yachts serve as floating symbols of his hidden fortune. He has also been linked to a fleet of luxury yachts. These yachts are not just any vessels, they are some of the most luxurious and expensive in the world, often seen docked in the most exclusive harbors. These vessels, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, are registered under various shell companies. This complex web of ownership makes it nearly impossible to trace the true owner, creating a veil of secrecy around these assets. This makes it difficult to trace them back to Putin directly. The use of shell companies and offshore accounts is a common tactic to obscure the true ownership of these luxurious assets. But investigative journalists and opposition figures have pieced together a compelling case. Through meticulous research and analysis, they have uncovered connections that suggest these yachts are indeed linked to Putin.
One such yacht, the Scheherazade, is estimated to be worth over $700 million. This yacht is a marvel of modern engineering and luxury, representing the pinnacle of opulence on the water. It boasts amenities like a swimming pool, a movie theatre, and even a helipad. These features are designed to provide the ultimate in comfort and convenience, making the yacht a floating palace. While Putin denies ownership, the yacht's crew is said to be staffed by members of the Russian Federal Protective Service. This detail adds another layer of intrigue and suggests a deeper connection to the Russian state. The presence of state security personnel on the yacht raises questions about the true nature of its ownership and the extent of state involvement. These floating palaces are not just symbols of wealth, they represent a lifestyle of extreme luxury and exclusivity, accessible only to the world's elite. They are symbols of secrecy and a blatant disregard for transparency. The tinted windows and concealed features of these yachts are designed to keep prying eyes away, maintaining the privacy of their occupants. They raise serious questions about the source of Putin's wealth and the lengths he goes to conceal it. The investigation into these yachts is not just about uncovering hidden assets, it's about understanding the mechanisms of power and wealth in modern Russia.
Putin's grip on power isn't solely based on his position, it's also built on a network of loyal oligarchs. These are Russia's wealthiest individuals. They control vast empires in industries like oil, gas, and banking. Putin is said to have a mutually beneficial relationship with these oligarchs.
They benefit from his patronage and political protection. In return, they allegedly hold assets for him. This includes shares in companies like Gazprom and Rosneft. These state-controlled giants generate billions in revenue. Putin's alleged stake in these companies is difficult to quantify, but it's believed to be substantial. This system allows him to exert influence over Russia's economy. It also enables him to accumulate wealth through proxies.
Section 5. Offshore Secrets, the trail leading to hidden fortunes. One of the key ways Putin and his allies allegedly hide their wealth is through offshore accounts. These are bank accounts and shell companies located in jurisdictions with lax financial regulations, places like Panama, the British Virgin Islands, and Cyprus.
The Panama Papers leak of 2016 provided a glimpse into this shadowy world. It revealed a complex web of offshore entities used to move vast sums of money out of Russia. While Putin's name didn't appear directly in the documents, several of his close associates were implicated. This suggests that he uses proxies to manage his wealth and keep it hidden from public scrutiny.
Section 6. The Mask of Humility, a carefully crafted image. Despite the mounting evidence, Putin maintains an image of a man of the people. He portrays himself as a humble public servant dedicated to his country. He's often pictured in staged photos engaging in manly activities, fishing, riding horses, even posing shirtless.
This carefully crafted image is designed to resonate with the Russian people. It's meant to deflect attention from the allegations of corruption and greed. But the contrast between his public persona and the evidence of his alleged wealth is stark. It raises questions about the authenticity of his image and the lengths he'll go to maintain it.
Section 7, Global Implications, Corruption on an International Scale. Putin's alleged hidden wealth is not just a domestic issue, it has global implications. It undermines the rule of law and fuels corruption on an international scale. The vast sums of money he and his allies allegedly siphon out of Russia contribute to global inequality. It also allows them to exert undue influence on businesses and governments around the world. This has led to calls for greater transparency and accountability. Governments and international organizations are under pressure to crack down on tax havens and illicit financial flows. Section 8. The Enigma of Putin's Wealth. A question without an answer. The true extent of Vladimir Putin's wealth remains a mystery. Despite years of investigations and countless allegations, the exact figure remains elusive. The Kremlin continues to deny any wrongdoing. They dismiss the evidence as Western propaganda, but the questions persist. How did a man on a public servant's salary amass such a vast fortune? Where is this wealth hidden? And what does it say about the nature of power in Russia? Until these questions are answered, the enigma of Putin's wealth will continue to fascinate and disturb in equal measure.